Andrew Santino versus Andrew Schultz. We got two podcast comedians throwing shots at each other. There is a Joe Rogan civil war.
I think that there's like people on another level up, we were saying earlier, that are like seeing these like people talk shit about it, and they're getting concerned that it could like negatively impact them in a way. So they're doing this like, it's the most shit. They're like trying to create a little distance, not too much where they can't call you and say, "Hey, I got a pod,
Oh, you mean Andrew Santino?
Yeah, like not too much where it's like, "Oh, I'd like to come on your pod, but I'll have a guy who's gonna shit on you for the whole fucking episode and not give you pushback." It's like,
has Joe Rogan become self-aware? Now, I've been saying this. He's a lot smarter than he lets on. People think Joe Rogan's just this bozo who can't discern when people are like using him. He knows. He's locked in and clocked in. You don't become a polymath, multi-millionaire, black belt, UFC commentator, comedian overnight.
and it's not just him. Like I've seen other people do it, and it's just like, dude, you're gonna go through some cancel shit later. All these guys, they're gonna go through some later, and they had a guy that they could call that would bring them on the biggest platform in the world and let them explain themselves, have their back. Like,
The Khan knows when a fake wizard is brought into his court. That's right.
you will do it.
All right, so Andrew Schultz has really been going at Andrew Santino recently. Like last Flagrant episode, Schultz was taking some shots at him and Bobby Lee. Then he went on Rogan's podcast after, and he had even more to say about it. Like you could tell he really wants Rogan to cut off Santino because Schultz thinks he betrayed Rogan by making fun of him and having on Mark Maron and letting him trash Joe without saying anything. Also, out of all the comedians that have done Joe's podcast and make jokes about him now, you know, the ones that Schultz thinks have backstabbed him.
Even from a dark triad point of view, if you're in the comedy podcasting sphere, it just is not good optics to trash Joe Rogan. That can't be good for business.
Santino's the one who Rogan did the most for. You know, everyone else like Anthony Jeselnik, Stavros Hakias, Mark Maron, Dan Soder, and Bobby Lee, they're not Rogan sphere comedians, and they've only made 1 or 2 appearances on the podcast. I don't think they're ever very close to Rogan. But Santino, he's been going on his...
Does Bobby Lee have a comedy special yet? Bobby Lee does not have a stand-up special. How the fuck are you a career comedian with no actual recorded body of work?
Podcast since 2017 and has made 11 appearances. So Rogan's done quite a bit for his career and considers him a good friend. So out of all the comedians that goof on Joe, Santino's probably the one that Joe feels the most
He's literally just a clown / a jester. He's too special for that.
disrespected by. But he's trying to look at it like Santino's just busting his balls. You know, it's what comedians do. But Schultz is trying to convince him it's more malicious. Probably because Santino's also talked shit about Schultz too. He criticized podcasters for getting political and specifically mentioned Flagrant. And then also this past year, Santino has started to goof on Rogan a little bit and had on Mark Maron and let him talk shit. So that's why people...
Why is everyone becoming soy? Is there something in the water? You're grown men chirping each other on podcasts. What is this, high school? Put the gloves on and go fight Rogan.
were surprised to see Santino on Rogan's podcast last month. Because Schultz is right. It seemed like Santino was trying to distance himself, but then when he had something to promote, he went on Rogan's podcast and acted like they're all good. Even though looking back on it, that podcast did seem kind of awkward, and you could tell there was some tension there. Because also Santino knew Rogan was...
Yes, the people are becoming toads. The frogification of soy-ciety. Something's in the food, I'll tell you what it is. Glyphosate, seed oils, high fructose corn syrup, xanthan and guar gum.
Going to get pissed about the Maron podcast. Like Maron at one point said he didn't think he was on Rogan's radar, but Santino's like, something tells me you are. And you could tell him and Bobby kind of wanted to get Maron going because you kind of have him on and avoid talking about Rogan. Like Dan Soder did it. He had Maron on his podcast and didn't mention Rogan once. So I think Bobby and Andrew kind of wanted to hear Maron go off because it seems like they don't.
See, this is going to piss me off, and you won't understand the depths to which it bothers me until I explain it to you. But all of these podcasts have the same art style. They're like copy-pasted from each other, where everything's like comic book and cartoonish, bright, vibrant colors. It's just artistically lazy. I mean, where's the vision?
Don't really like the whole comedy podcast scene either, and they like to make fun of it. Like Santino even goofs on Theo Vaughn, who according to Rogan is like off limits to make fun of. So he's walking a fine line here.
By the way, Theo of all people could get Kim Jong-un. He like
Absolutely.
could and
Every
get
time
like a
he
legit
drops
interview.
like his new episode, I'm like, who is it today?
Yeah, it's like they
It's
all
either
have
Garbage
the
Man-
same millennial Chungus decorator, where it's like maximalist. There's just picture frames and Funko Pops. Less is more, guys. Less is more. okay? But there's a lesson in there because they fill the set with a bunch of ADHD bullshit because the quality of their conversation is not up to par. It's not wrinkly brain dialogue.
It's Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un is like, my son really like you.
There's something to be said about how Joe is never the guest on anyone else's show ever. He makes them come to him and on his terms. He's the comedy con of Austin. I mean,
Theo. So
Yeah,
that's why
Schultz
I'm here.
fan.
Yeah, his son is a massive Theo fan. That's how you hear all these things. Like fucking Trump is like,
Oh, yeah.
my son loves Theo.
Yeah, that Twitter was like, give it up for Barron, the unsung hero, getting his dad booked on
That's some
Trump and Rogan.
We are living in this most dystopian version of comedy internet.
It's
the fucking
it's
weirdest
bizarre.
thing in the world.
It's bizarre.
That's so strange. It makes me happy to know that this show is still as stupid as it's always been from the beginning because I see a lot of our podcast
I've seen Joe Rogan on other podcasts. There probably just has to be a certain level of trust between them.
pals or people in our sphere that are taking these shows to a level that we don't go to.
Which is what?
Well, they're all having like
all, like,
politicians on.
journalists.
Tim got fucking interviewed by like CNN.
Yeah.
I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah, we stay here.
Tim Dillon's smart, though. He's actually intelligent. I guess there's levels to this shit. When Tim Dillon speaks, I'm actually interested. I like to know what he thinks about certain things and how he thinks and how he gets to those conclusions.
Same with hyenas. We're
We
just funny.
stay right
Right
here.
here. Yeah.
It's because you're hard Captain Bronze Elo. I mean, this is just a skill issue. Third Eye Global speaks of this. Kick.com/Philion.
I saw that they had Bernie on Schultz's show.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? I just think
I mean, that's funny because he's a socialist millionaire. So that's an epic comedy W.
comedy podcasting is entering this world of like news or something.
Yeah.
And people are taking it serious. And it's
Well, it's just you have Joe Rogan creating the meta. Like I said, he's a renaissance man. He's able to have conversations with anyone and everyone because he has the sweat equity and years of skin in the game. And then you have these other people who got famous who went on Rogan, who copied his system of being a podcast comedian, except they're neither funny nor good conversationalists.
not.
It's so good to have doctors in the house.
Yeah. Like we're on Rogan's show. Just giving out medical advice. Two fucking idiots giving out medical advice.
Does your mother have titty milk still in her breast?
You said it's not correct.
One guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogan talks about it, and he's usually right.
Is he? And there's one guy going,
Yeah. The Rogan.
The killer.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overcompensating, right?
jacked up on alpha.
Right. So then
But yeah, me and who else?
Rogan.
Okay.
Who's that?
They're spiteful.
Joe Rogan.
Joey.
Joseph Rogan?
Yeah, he's out of Texas.
Oh, he texted us. Got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Got it.
Yeah. You love Austin, don't you?
He's running half the planet out of Texas.
Yeah.
He's got a tight hold on the enlightened meatheads.
Dude, Marin's disdain.
It's not disdain. It's reasonable criticism.
Reasonable criticism.
Yeah.
When was the last time you spoke with him?
I mean, the enlightened meathead is retard maxing instead of falling into the midwit trap.
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess it would have been at the store. I never talked to him in Austin. I don't go into the club. I don't really think I'm on his radar. So I
Something
don't.
tells me you are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah,
me
something
too.
tells me you
too.
are.
Also, soon after they published that Mark Maron podcast, they changed the thumbnail and removed him from it. So they must have heard either Joe was upset about it or they were worried Joe would see it and get upset about it. I don't know, but I think Schultz
I mean, if you're going to be friends, then why are you bad talking your friends? Unless you're that close of friends where it's acceptable to do so.
is now trying to get Rogan riled up because he thinks Santino's a snake and he should cut him off. Like, he keeps referencing Santino getting canceled at some point, saying Rogan would have been the guy to have his back. But Rogan's like, I'd still have his back. Santino's my boy. So it seems like Schultz wants Rogan to be done with him, but Rogan just likes him way too much. And it seems like he just wants things to be good between him and Santino.
Comedians seem like snakes.
But it sounds like Schultz is trying to cause some shit now, too. Like, I think Schultz is also...
I mean, this is just the slop fountain of youth. I didn't know that there was this much drama in the sphere of content. It's never ending. It's an Ouroboros. See what I did there with the snake eating itself?
and saying Santino talking about Bobby Lee behind his back. He's like, how can I trust the guy that does that talks shit about his co-host? So it sounds like he's referring to Santino. I mean, also, his podcast is called Bad Friends, so it's not that surprising. But
True. Lesson in there.
Schultz, he's trying to get it into Rogan's head that this guy's a snake and he shouldn't trust him. And Schultz was also DMing with random people that were messaging him about it. So he's getting really worked up about this.
So I don't know. My whole feeling about it is just like,
Now, let's read this. The Austin scene has been shitting on LA comedy scene for the last 6 years. Why is it a traitor when they give it back? LOL. Don't be mad at bad friends for that. Letting Marin come shit on your boy with no pushback is being a bad friend. You see things very, very weird, my friend. This is not a crime family or a gang. He threw shots, boo-hoo. All these guys do is throw subliminal shots, but when it comes back, everybody starts acting sensitive. At least it's direct. What if they equally respect Marin as much as Rogan? They got into the conversation because Bobby said he saw Marin and Rogan as the two people that started everything that is happening in comedy now. Why would he get between them bickering? So is this Andrew Schultz talking to Santino?
About it, so he's getting really worked up about this.
so I don't know. My whole feeling about it is just like we know who the pieces of shit are in our industry,
Right.
And like we're aware of it because we've seen them from the jump. Like if I'm sitting down with a comedian,
Short messages are attacks, long messages are defense. I never thought of it like that.
right? And like this is why I don't fuck with a lot of them. Is like if you immediately start talking shit about your co-host to me when I'm sitting down with you, like I got to start questioning your integrity a little bit. It's like
Right
that's
away.
your boy. Like why
Right
are you?
away.
Don't you think the more you use words like friend or love, they kind of lose meaning at some point? For example, I don't have a single friend. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You can have loose ties versus close ties, acquaintances, companions. Friend has some weight, and I've learned that the older that I got. Friends are rare. I would be careful calling people that you think are friends just because you've been conditioned to do so. Friends have each other's back no matter what. They're loyal. Dogs speak of this.
Shit talking your boy to me.
Right.
So it's but you saw it. So
That's why I don't really identify with normies in the sense of like, yo, that's my boy. I don't really refer to my close friends like that. Yo, that's my guy. Because these people, since they're not actualized themselves, must create a network of loose ties so that they can have perceived status versus the Chad man on a mission. Now, this is some deep insight you're only getting on kick.com/Philion, Third Eye Global, streaming every day of the week.
a lot of these guys, man, you saw it. You saw a lot of these guys. So they're doing this like it's the most pussy shit. They're like trying to create a little distance, not too much where they can't call you and say, "Hey, I got a pod, I got a."
Oh, you mean
I
Andrew
got a
Santino?
special. Yeah, like not too much where it's like, "Oh, I'd like to come on your pod, but I'll have a guy who's gonna shit on you for the whole fucking episode and not give you pushback." It's like, and it's not just him. Like I've seen other people do it, and it's just like, dude, you're gonna go through some cancel shit later. All these guys, they're gonna go through something later, and they had a guy that they could call that would bring them on the biggest platform in the world and let them explain themselves, have their back. Like you will do it.
I would still do that with Santino.
Of course
He's
you
my
would.
boy.
That's your boy. That's your boy.
I love him.
He's a
He just-
fucking
he
amazing
just-
hang. That was a bad move. That was a bad move, in my opinion.
He felt like, look, Mark is irrelevant. He's yelling these things out. Like, let him rant. Everyone's going to know what he's doing. But I don't think everybody on the outside
They don't.
does because they don't know comedy. They don't
They
know
don't.
the business.
And it
they
looks
think
like you're
oh,
co-signing it all. And it looks like that you're okay with this. And I'm fine with you having him on. Like I would have Marin on, but we're going to go at it. Yeah, you forgive. You know what I mean? You have
Andrew Schultz, based.
somebody on your pod who had someone on their pod talking shit. You're better than me.
Yeah.
You're better than me.
You got to be able to just let things go.
I can't wait for Gavin Newsom to go on Bad Friends. I can't. I want to see I'm distancing myself from the Rogan Sphere tour.
That's
First
hilarious.
stop, Bad Friends.
That's hilarious.
I thought that was corny.
Yeah.
I thought it was corny.
Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know. It is what it is.
Like right now, there's this internet trend.
Everyone is my friend, good or bad mentality. That's a horrible mentality. Most people are self-interested. And the sooner you understand that, the safer you'll be. You need to guard yourself, your energy, your time. Don't let people sap your life force because of their own motivations.
Oh, the fucking manosphere, blah, 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 blah. And I think I see guys who you were very generous to. Like you lent your platform, your millions of followers, the biggest show on the planet, help them make tons of money, help them really have success, build their own platforms. And now they see like an internet trend about like the manosphere or whatever, and I see guys like trying to create a little separation. I see all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you use this guy to make millions of dollars and get all these fans, and now you see online outrage, and you're like, oh no, that's them, that's not me. It's like you had no problem being part of the Avengers. You know what I mean? You had no problem being in the photos. You had no problem before. And now you see a little shit going on. You separate. I feel like that's the moment you double down for your boy. That's the moment you go, I know that person. What people are saying about him isn't real. And you refute that. That's what
Yeah, if somebody's talking shit about your actual friend, you would think that you would probably defend them.
I would do. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of cowards out there in the world.
And it's just they're scared.
They're scared, and this is like a time of real attacks.
Yeah, so things are really heating up between these guys. It's getting ugly. Apparently, it's a time of real attacks. But the comedy scene, the last line of defense is having a civil war, so that's not good. And it'll be interesting to see how Santino responds to this. But let me know what you guys think about it all, and then make sure you check out my Patreon.
I don't think Santino will respond to this. I think it'll just be more petty drama. Probably about 18 more videos on the same topic. Joe Rogan is kind of like comedian cancel insurance. Well, the thing about cancel culture is that it's only a thing of the left. Notice how people on the right don't cancel each other because it's retarded. Because you have to understand what canceling is, right? It's essentially saying you are no longer worthy of support and your livelihood will suffer because of something that you said that I don't agree with or that I find is inflammatory. That is inherently dangerous and venomous. Why would you want to be associated with that? Why would you want an audience that acts like that? Notice how some creators can do and say what they want, and others have to run defense all the time, have to apologize constantly. Study that.